2009, I was getting interested in the style. Rashad had showed me the style, and I thought it was dope. I thought it was really illusional because of the slides and glides. I think that's the first thing that attracts most people to the style. And yeah, I wanted to learn. And in our group, Urban Artistry, it's about culture and preservation. So we try to go about learning these things without disrespecting a community. So what House advised me to do was hit these guys up and let's go and let's visit them. So I contacted Rico, and this is 2009. We didn't go there until 2010. And that's when I had my first Memphis culture shock at Senses. We went for the Man of 1,000 Moves, House and I. And yeah, but me and this guy, we were practicing over the phone, over the internet, like even in 2009, and just exchanging. Like I was showing him pop-in stuff, and he was talking to me about juking stuff and showing me stuff on Skype. And we were just basically having an exchange in movement and culture. And yeah, me and House went there in 2010, and I got my culture shock. Like the first time we went to the Club Senses, I'm never gonna forget this. I didn't know what getting buck was. I didn't know what it was, right? So we go in the club, right when we walk in the door, we're just talking, just casual conversation. We walk in the club, and this guy just takes off, and he takes over the whole club. He was dancing at the bar, he was dancing all over the floor. He took up the whole club, and I was just like, what's happening right now? This is so crazy.
I was excited when he hit me up with me. I was still in the mode of just being really open to anybody that wanted to like partake in the style. A bit different since I've been in the style. Like I just had a knack for loving life and other people. You know, he hit me up, and you know, instantly we started sharing. And the thing is, you know, I had a lot of, me and him were able to really connect on mental levels, but I could definitely tell you that like my inexperience in, for lack of a better term, of like kinesthetic awareness, like I knew the muscles that were being used in the body, but like when I started working with him, because he started teaching me popping, like it really just changed my whole approach to dance anyway, because of the simple fact I became more in tune with muscle awareness, and ultimately gave me better control of my body. But it was just like, it was so much patience for each other. From day one, we kept it straightforward. We already had a vision. Like before I knew of his skill in popping, you know, I was open to sharing the style with him. And then when I found out of his skill in popping, we didn't want to look at the video. It was just like, it was a dream come true for me. I mean, I've always been into popping. I always wanted to learn how to pop. But I spent years of being on forums of popping and kind of like hearing a lot of other riff-raff that was going on, so I didn't really reach out to any poppers. And, you know, he came down to Memphis, and House came to Memphis, like they just represented such a presence about that. And it was a presence to be really a part of something, but at the same time, only standing out from the perspective that you're truly standing for something. You know, so you don't get caught in the riff-raff. Like they represented that.
The same way he taught me the style of juking, which was like culture first and learn the people first, is the same approach that we had been taking in urban artistry. So I did the same for him. We studied Oakland and San Francisco, boogalooing, strutting, roboting, popping, and we went into the history of all these dances and broke it down from a historical and culture perspective first before the movement, so that we could get the character. And yeah, that's basically how we did that. But I think we were developing like our strengths with our weaknesses. His strengths were becoming my strengths, and my strengths were becoming his, where we kind of counterbalanced each other perfectly in that sense, because we both had something that the other person needed. And I think both of our goals is just spreading like these things, spreading Oakland Boogaloo, spreading the history, the many histories and cultures of popping and the Memphis culture and juking, and showing people that there's more things out there than just one way, you know. And and you felt the same thing when I was in Memphis. I felt the same thing. Like they love juking and they're so prideful, and that's dope, you know. But your thing was kind of like, well, there's more. You guys, there's other urban dances out there, and that's, you know, that was kind of my vision too. So now going internationally and teaching juking, like I see that people don't know this style yet. It's really like a sleeping giant, just like Oakland Boogaloo, just like strutting, a sleeping giant. And there's so much information out there that people can learn and need to learn. So I think both of our goal now is to start pushing the style and get it to be respected on an equal level as the other urban dances. And eventually getting the urban dances as much respect as a ballet or a modern dance and these things.
You know, I think that the assassin's way of approaching researching information is like a really good model for whatever field of study you're going into, whether it's dance or whatever your study that you have a passion for. The way to like try to go and tie back through each culture and try to find like the beginning people and how they were influenced through that culture that led to the things that they contributed to that field of study, and then furthermore like taking the timeline approach, and then from there still having the courage. I think courage, because sometimes when we can get so caught in like preservation of culture that we distract ourselves from being innovative. And I think that's one of the things that's the balance of it. You know, and I've applied that mindset to everything. I mean, it's funny, you know, we talk all the time about the philosophy of dance. You know, I can get philosophical with dance, but you know, as we study these styles, we start to realize more and more about the people. And you can't really get into the essence of the style without understanding like the fears, the things the people, what they love, what they you know, what they had pride for, what they didn't allow. You know, and from there, you know, I just simply know that model is definitely a foundational model if you truly want to get to the essence of understanding what has come before you, what is present with you now, and being wise enough to like see the things that make limitations and to be innovative, which is just breaking those limits. You know?
I think that's important to remember, because there's a trend right now, because YouTube is so accessible and there's so much information out there. I think it's really easy for people to just take from different cultures and different things that they see on YouTube. There's nothing wrong with learning that way originally, but I think that it's important to remember to go to these places at some point, you know, or talk to somebody from these places, and like you're saying, get to know the people, and it's culture first, not movement first. We're in a dance school era right now where people are learning technique first and movement first, and our OGs didn't learn that way.
That's the perfect thing, you know. Dance is the way that we get people to pay attention to us, and you know, our enthusiasm for the empowerment of themselves in their life gets them enthusiastic. And I can tell you, if you do anything, under no circumstances, you don't quit. They would, regardless if you quit or not. Like, we have this heart to never quit on you. We're never gonna quit this movement. And, like, that's why we're continuing to pass this movement on to the hearts of others. So it won't be just a story of us while we're alive. Like, this is a human movement that we hope will touch our face of life.
Assassins, warriors of light, and what we do is, we do light work. So we're in the business of bettering other people and spreading culture, preserving culture, and we do that through dance. We do that through our art. So that's what we do. It's an Assassin's Crew thing, and a Dr. Rico and Future thing as well.
The 3-6 mop in the house for the 9-5. Straight from the M-Town, the Juice, DJ Paul, Lord Infamous, the Scarecrow, the Kustanika, and Crunchy Black. We out.